So how do you get the most out of a home inspection report? I mean, you got this very
Okay.
comprehensive report. What do you do?
Yeah. So, I mean, the first thing that you do is, I know it sounds painfully obvious, but you got to follow the home inspector around if you can be present, unless you're doing a virtual or some other type of process where you're not going to be there. But follow the inspector around, listen to what he or she says about the house, and ask lots of questions. That way you can learn about the house.
Mhm.
And that's the most important thing, is that you get all the information you can about the house, whether you're doing it as a seller or as a buyer. So I would say the number one thing, ask questions, follow around, listen to what the home inspector says. Number two, you got to actually read the report. And I know it sounds crazy that I say this, but we get calls every single month where people call us back and they say that, they moved into their house and this and that was a problem. And I go back and it was written in the report and they just didn't read it. So you got to read what we wrote. You're paying us a few, or in some cases, several $100s to inspect the house. You're getting a bunch of information from us. I know it's several pages, sometimes a few dozen pages, but you got to take the time to read that because you're making a big investment. So gather all the information. And then the last thing you can do, especially if you're buying now, if you read the report, talk to your realtor about the report, you go over all the findings in the report. If there's anything that you're not clear about, you can call the guy back and follow up and make sure you have no questions. The other thing that's important is not just understanding what's written in the report, but a lot of times the home inspector is going to make recommendations. They're going to say, we should have an electrician fix this, or we need a plumber to fix that, or this is okay now, but it's probably going to need to be replaced in 2, 3, 4 years. So get all that stuff charted out and know that, hey, in a couple of years, I'm going to have to do this, or every year I'm going to have to do this maintenance on my heating system because it's oil. So there's services that need to be done. So pay attention so that way your house stays in good condition, because the condition it is on inspection day is not the condition that it's in going forward. Things deteriorate, things need service, things need maintenance. So you got to just stay on top of that stuff. If you're selling a house, you also want to get the most out of your home inspection, but it's a different type of thing. When you're buying a house, you're going to own this house for presumably a few or several or decades to come. So you're gonna own the house for a long time. So you want to keep it good as long as you can, forever, really. If you're selling the house now, maybe all the items that you find you don't intend on fixing because that's not really in your budget. You have a house, you're looking to sell it. You want to get obviously the most money for it, but you also don't want to dump money into the house that's not going to provide that return on investment for you. So the best thing to do as a seller to get the most money out of your home inspection report is to disclose everything. Yeah. We do inspections for people that are selling houses that are in disrepair, a lot of deferred maintenance, things that are broken or old or aged out. And these people might be selling because maybe they're downsizing, maybe they don't have the finance to maintain this house going forward. So they're selling the house. It's going to be at, perhaps a lower price point because it needs a lot of work. And they may not have the room in their budget for whatever reason. Maybe they have a mortgage to pay off or whatever to really negotiate a lot with a potential buyer. So their best way to get the most money out of the report or the most out of their home inspection report is to disclose everything so they don't have their house under contract and then have a buyer come in and say, yeah, but the roof's kind of old. My dad says we're going to need a new roof here. We'd like you to lower the price by $15,000, where they could have just written in the report or disclosed from the report, yes, we have a 20-year-old roof here. We know it's old. We've taken that into account. We've priced the house accordingly. And by telling you everything we know about the house, we're trying not to renegotiate because we're being super upfront.